Yo, what's up, all you burner stones and potters? This is Weedman 420 with the Weedman 420 Chronicles. How are all you vipers doing out there? Mrs. Weedman.
Mr. Weedman.
How the hell are you?
I'm doing great.
I love it. Hey, all you vipers out there in the world, hopefully you're smoking some big fat doinks while you're listening to the show. And we're about to get normal. And we are smoking some Caked Up Cherries grown by our friend Ignius. And this is a 70-30 Indica Sativa. Caked Up Cherries, an indica dominant hybrid created through crossing the delicious wedding cake and cherry cookie strains, named for its delicious flavor, celebrity parentage, and gorgeous appearance. Caked Up Cherries is definitely one for the ages. This bud has high, tight, spade-shaped olive green nugs with thin orange hairs and super frosty, thick coating of tiny, amber-tinted white crystal trichomes. As you pull apart each sparkling little nugget, aromas of fresh, spicy cherries and sweet, fully fruity vanilla cake are released. The flavor is very similar, with the super sweet and fruity cherry overtone, extended by the touch of creamy vanilla cake. The Caked Up Cherries high is just as delicious, with soothing and lifting effects that activate the mind while simultaneously relaxing the body. You will feel a boost of euphoria and onset of the high that stimulates your mental form, leaving you feeling focused and happy with a sense of motivation. A relaxing physical high accompanying the head lift, keeping you anchored and fully calm from head to toe. With these effects and its super high, 21 plus THC average, Caked Up Cherries is often chosen for those suffering from conditions such as depression, chronic stress, or PTSD, chronic fatigue, ADHD, or ADHD or ADD, and appetite loss or nausea. The effects are calming, euphoria, focus, happy, relaxing, uplifting. The symptoms relief is ADD, ADHD, depression, fatigue, nausea, stress. The flavors are berry, cherry, fruity, spicy, sweet, berry, earthy, fruity, herbal, spicy, and sweet are the aromas. And that is grown by our friend Ignius. And he sent me a little message saying this was, he hunted this from the F2 cross Relentless did, and said Relentless is an excellent breeder. So this also is, he is entering this in the Salts versus Organics that's going to be taking place here in June with our friend Midwest Terps, who's going to be on the show this Friday with Tommy and another person. So to talk about the Salts versus Organics that we're going to be a part of coming up here in June. Competition. Yep.
Yeah. So once we have more information and the location is firmed up, maybe even on Friday they'll drop more information about the event, but it should be a big one.
Yeah.
Should be good. We have Vega in the house tonight. Vega is our 9-year-old parakeet. Is he 9?
Yes, he's 9.
9-year-old parakeet. He's pretty amazing.
He hasn't been on the show in a while.
Yeah. Has he been on the show?
Once. I think once before we had him on the show.
Oh. Well, welcome back to the show, Vega.
It's been years since we've had him on. Oh,
bird on your head.
On my head. Come here, buddy. There you go. And we'll see how long he lasts. He might fly away up to his cage, but it's good to have you, Vega, on the show again. So
it's a little smoky down here, Birdie.
Yes. Hopefully everybody had a great Memorial Weekend if you celebrate Memorial Day here in the States, if not overseas. Hopefully you had a great weekend yourself. And we had a lot of fun with our kids coming over for a barbecue, the first barbecue of the season. Got the yard all ready, looking tip-top shape, and cooked some Irish garlic brats. They were fantastic, and they were just delicious. And you made your famous potatoes.
Yummy potato. Funeral potatoes, yummy potatoes.
They're definitely not funeral potatoes, that's for sure.
No, that's where they got the name.
I know, I'm just kidding. They weren't dead, by the way. They were very delicious. And we had the kids over for the weekend, went to a race party. Indianapolis 500 was on Sunday. We went and watched that, and just had a great weekend, relaxed, refreshed, and it was just beautiful out. It wasn't warm, the normal Memorial Weekend here.
Super pleasant.
Yeah, it was very pleasant, though. No
but
humidity.
Not like a pool party kind of Memorial Day weekend.
No, not at all. So it was a great weekend. Hopefully everybody had a great celebration. And I did hear there was a mass shooting in Philadelphia over the weekend, and my thoughts and prayers go out to all the families and everybody in Philadelphia and all of our listeners out there. Hopefully you're safe and got home safe if you were at that park. So prayers are there for all of you out there. So Ignius, very tasty. Good luck with this strain for the competition. I am super excited to try this out again at the competition. So I really like it. Let me ask you a question.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Ask me a question, Mr.
If
Weedman.
one of our kids took your credit card, right, but before you knew what happened, the reasoning was this young human wanted to have his own carnival and invite all his friends. So he thought...
How old was this young human?
8.
Okay.
8 years old. And he took his mom's credit card and ordered 70,000
He did.
dum-dums. And if you don't know what a dum-dum is, it's a lollipop.
A small lollipop.
Yes, a small lollipop. A great lollipop with lots of cool flavors. But he ordered 70,000 of them, right? So Amazon arrived with 22 cases to their home.
Liam, what were you thinking, Liam?
It was a $4,000 order. For 70,000 dum-dums, that's actually not that much money.
I don't know, is it? It's a lot of money.
This kid wanted to have his own carnival and give everybody a dum-dum.
Oh my gosh.
As prizes and just to come and hang out with him at his carnival.
Gosh. Could you imagine?
7,000.
I'm sure she was able to return them, but
it says that she was able and she got her money back.
This little guy just thinking
it took a while.
Yeah.
But she finally got her money back. But what would you
22
do?
cases. Well, I think I'd keep one case.
Yeah.
And then I would tell Liam that was dumb.
Dumb?
That was a dumb move, Liam. What are you thinking?
I mean...
And then try to figure out why he's got such a fascination with the carnival. And maybe bring him to one?
He wanted to invite all of his friends.
That's sweet. I mean, it's really sweet.
It is very sweet. I couldn't be mad. I would be mad, but I couldn't be mad.
Like an acute mad.
Right.
Like,
I'd be like, don't ever do that again, but that was so adorable.
Seriously.
Seriously. I'd be like, how can you be mad at that? The poor kid wanted to have a carnival for him and his friends to come and hang out at.
That's cute.
You know? But what would you do at 70,000? Imagine if you couldn't return them. Like, what would you do with 70,000 dum-dums?
I mean, I guess we were pretty self-sufficient and doing a lot of very independent things at 9 years old.
Right.
But I feel like now at like 2, kids are like ready to run the world. Like, what happened since COVID? They say that like COVID babies, like that, the kids born in 2020, especially like born in the thick of it,
right.
like, spring 2020 babies, they're a breed of their own. They're special. They're like no fears.
No, nothing.
No. They're just a little wild.
We've seen some 2-year-olds lately too.
Yeah. But I think like parenting is like the style of parenting right now is more of a hands-off parenting. Like we were a helicopter parent. I'm sure I was a helicopter parent. I didn't think I was, but I'm pretty sure I was a helicopter parent for good reason.
Yeah. Like 2-year-olds getting everything.
Huh?
2-year-olds getting everything.
2-year-olds getting everything.
Every fucking thing.
Holy cow!
I remember our Paulie. He climbed up the couch and I had a big CD rack and took every single CD out of the rack. And I had
one at a time.
We had like 300 CDs at one time.
He probably just tilted it, and they all just fell out.
No, I think he took one at a time, knowing.
Well, what were you doing?
What was I doing?
I was able to do that.
I came in the room and all of a sudden I see all the CDs. He was probably watching TV and no one was helicoptering because you weren't home. So
someone might have been taking a nap or
playing
a video game.
I was probably in another
gaming.
room doing something else, and all of a sudden I walk into the den and I see every CD on the floor, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were like out of the case too.
Oh, he was
and
like looking at them all.
Yeah, that's when I freaked out, when they were all out of the case. I was like, what'd you do? No!
Oh, Jesus. Traumatize them.
Oh, man. So, yeah, 2-year-olds getting a lot of shit.
Yeah, they do some stuff.
They
They
do
like ride bicycles now. Like that little kid was on Sunday
Yeah, but not pedaling.
He wasn't pedaling. It was like a balance bike.
Yes,
it's a wider tire.
But they ride those things like crazy,
But
jumping over curbs.
That thing around.
Yeah, they're crazy.
He didn't need his mom. He's like, I got it.
I got it. Yo.
I got it. I'm good. Like it just didn't. I don't know. It's just different. It's just in the way their like communication seems more advanced. At a much younger age.
Oh yeah.
And problem solving. Like,
well, they have technology.
I didn't let our kids problem solve.
Well, our kids didn't have technology.
I got it for you.
I know, but they didn't have technology like that.
Yeah.
They had like pegboards that you would put like
they
puzzle pieces in, and toys, Legos, and all that stuff.
toys, Mr.
They
Weedman.
did have toys, but they didn't have technology though.
No.
They didn't have computer.
I
We didn't
mean,
have a
we had a
computer.
Tamagotchi. We have video games
Yeah, but we didn't have a computer. We didn't have a computer until like
until 1999.
1999.
That was our first home computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't have any.
Zzz, like the dial-up sound.
Oh my gosh! I think it was a little bit better than dial-up. I think it was better than
We
AOL
had, like-
when we got it. I don't remember who it was that we had.
It took a minute though.
It was
Pages
very
had to
slow.
load.
Oh yeah, it was
You had to
very
wait.
slow. Today, I mean, the computers we have today are just insane.
We're like, what the fuck?
Compared to 20.
Why are you so slow?
27 years ago, right?
Like it didn't move as quick as a blink, you know?
That's when we had Napster, and downloading music from Napster took
God,
forever.
the conversion of all of our music.
Oh my gosh, took forever.
Oh my God. Burning CDs one at a time and photos.
Yes.
Having to download your photos and then email them.
They were terrible. It was so
and
slow.
Flash drives.
The 2-year-olds
Holy
today will not know what we went through back in 1999.
Your phone didn't take pictures.
I didn't have a phone.
Your phone didn't take pictures.
You had
I got a phone.
Yeah, but you had like a.
I had a car phone.
Yeah, but I'm talking about your
work in my
phone that you
car.
had. The phone that you had. You had just a regular flip phone at
I had a
first one.
Motorola flip
It
phone.
didn't have any screen. It had just
That
the numbers.
wasn't my first phone.
Was it?
Was it?
I don't remember.
Oh, I think
You had a black flip one, and then you had the blue one.
The Motorola StarTAC.
Yeah.
Those fucking phones you could rely on. They were just so good.
Wish I still had that phone.
With what sort of Verizon service that was so good?
No,
at the time?
Singular.
No, I think we have Verizon.
Did we have Verizon? Jeez.
And like,
Singular though, they're not even around anymore.
We didn't even have text messaging.
No.
Or apps. Remember when apps came into play and it was like, wait, what?
I got my first phone.
What do I have to do?
It was 2002, I think, when I got my first phone, and it was a Nokia, and that's when it had text messaging.
Yeah, but it was like use the numbers,
yeah, it
the
was
letters
terrible.
on the
It was
numbers.
brutal, so
you had
slow.
to click.
No apps. Had one game.
Backspace,
I had one game.
backspace.
Backgammon.
Oh my God.
And that was it. That was the only game that came on the phone.
And you could, I don't think there was even a camera on there.
No, I didn't have a camera.
No, you would still have to like send an email to yourself. No, because you
No,
couldn't
I didn't
open
even
email on your phone.
I didn't even have any of that stuff.
Oh fuck, we are that like
Till I got my
Stone
until I
Age.
got my Apple. Till I got my first Apple, the Apple II.
Whoa.
Which was like that's when I was able to start doing emails from the phone.
The
and
kids
stuff
were
like
in
that.
middle school when we started texting, but that was like
You had to
like
know the-
numbers
yeah.
to
Yes,
converting
convert
numbers to letters.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, Lord.
And they charged you a lot of money for
Crazy.
text messages too. Remember?
Now we're like,
Now it's 2 seconds.
it's a
Boom, boom,
computer.
boom, done.
It's just it's not even a phone. Like who calls anybody? It's not even a phone.
Nope. Man, I'm stoned.
Yeah.
Jeez, that
Mellow.
I'm like. Wah.
No, I'm not wham. I'm like
Oh,
mellow. Kind of like an energetic, but
Really?
mellow. hmm
I'm just like.
Like my
so
body.
I guess I'm gonna get the show started
Yeah.
before I fall asleep.
You better not fall asleep, Mr.
kidding.
Weedman.
I'm kidding.
Vega's going to have to start talking.
I know.
I
He
mean,
does
he
talk.
can.
He does talk.
Not on demand.
No, but he does talk. He does say about like 40, 50 words. when he's in
Vega,
the mood.
want to take a shower?
No, he won't say that right now.
He says that.
He does say that though. He coughs too. It's funny.
He makes fun of me.
He's sitting there. If you have a bird, a parakeet, or a cockatiel, he loves the hemp wick that we use to light our joints up, and
It has beeswax on it.
And he goes
Probably feels so good on
he
his
goes
beak.
to town on that, and just like
He doesn't get it often, but
no,
he
but he
loves
loves
it.
it. Like his
And he'll like
his
pull
eyes
all
like
the
roll in the back of his head.
the little threads from the
Yeah.
string apart and like fray it all. He'll
He's
just go
going
to town.
So if you're wondering what he's doing, that's what he's
I mean,
chewing
look at
on.
already since we started the show.
Yeah.
It's already like a big knot. Look, Vega, you want your string? Look, you got an even better spot now, buddy.
All right, let's get the show started. Seeds of change: how cannabis cultivation is influencing athletic recovery and performance. Athletes are always searching for new ways to optimize their recovery and performance, and cannabis has emerged as an unexpected but powerful ally in the search. Once considered illegal, cannabis is now being studied for its potential health benefits in reducing inflammation, managing pain, and improving sleep, key components in athletic recovery. As cultivation techniques advance, so do options to tailor cannabis strains specifically to athletes' needs. This is going to explore, we're going to talk about how this explores how cannabis is changing the game for athletes of all stripes, From weekend warriors to elite competitors, cannabis and athletic recovery. What science says. Cannabis contains over 100 active compounds known as cannabinoids, with THC, CBD among the top two, but being others like CBG, CBN, CBC, THCV, and more. Its research examples, cannabinoids interact with our body's endocannabinoid system, which regulates pain, inflammation, mood, and sleep. In athletes taking cannabis, they may also bind directly with ECS receptors to reduce exercise-induced inflammation and speed up muscle repair. Recent studies suggest CBD could be specifically effective at aiding recovery for athletes. A 2020 sports medicine study discovered CBD reduced markers of muscle damage and inflammation after intense exercise. Furthermore, unlike THC, which produces a high, CBD offers athletes clear-headed recovery without producing psychoactive effects, such as sleep disruption. THC pain-relieving properties may help change chronic injuries. However, due to psychoactive properties, it should be carefully administered as not to impair performance. Cannabis cultivation for athletes, tailoring strains for athletic performance. Modern cannabis seeds companies and cultivators have moved beyond basic classifications of indica and sativa varieties. Breeders now utilize genetic analysis of cannabinoids and terpene profiles to produce strains tailored specifically for athletes' needs. We talked about that in this last episode, too. A runner may prefer strains high in pinene, which improves lung function and focus, while weightlifters might prefer myrcene, dominant strains due to their muscle-relaxing effects.
Cottonmouth.
Oh, bad. Key development and cultivation, precision breeding. Genetic testing allows breeders to stabilize strains with consistent CBD, THC ratios for maximum consistency and production. I will say this. Mrs. Weedman and I have been smoking a strain that I smoked on the Grow Hour. It was the breeder is Seattle Seed Chronic. We've had him on the Grow Hour multiple times. He sent a clone to Big Earl. Big Earl grew. We don't know the name, the lineage, anything. We just call it the Seattle Chronic. I have to reach out to him, and I'm going to get back to this article in a second, but I want to talk about this strain and what Seattle Seed Chronic is bringing to his cultivars. And that would be adding high CBG to where he can get it at, like triple, like ratio stuff, CBD, CBG, THC. He's trying to bring
he's
other
creating genetics.
He's bringing back,
right.
genetics that are bringing higher concentrations of these other cannabinoids that this article is discussing about. So if you are a grower and you want to reach out to Seattle Seed Chronic to talk about some of the stuff that he's doing, Mrs. Weedman, we smoked that the other night.
It was the most noticeable pain relief that any strain had given me in a while. Like almost instantaneous. And it was very like
clear-headed too.
Yeah, clear-headed, very, very baked. Very like kind of not slothy body, but like relaxed.
Yes. Like
but
the inflammation
still having
went away.
Still having some energy and clarity too.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
It was really nice.
Yeah.
So key development, cultivation, precision breeding, terpene enhancement, amplifying specific terpenes such as beta-carotene, anti-inflammatory, limonene, mood boosting, light spectrum manipulation, shifting grow lights to increase trichome production, which contains cannabinoids and terpenes in high concentration. These innovations enable targeted products such as recovery blends containing high CBD levels and low THC, or energy strains with THCV, a cannabinoid linked to increased stamina. Opioids are not necessary for treating chronic pain. Opioids have caused athletes and sports medicine professionals to search for safer pain relief alternatives, which cannabis derived full-spectrum CBD products showing promise in managing both acute post-surgery recovery and chronic pain. Arthritis for old injuries. A 2018 European Journal Pain study showed how topical CBD reduced joint swelling and pain for arthritic rats. Damn rats. Suggesting similar potential benefits could exist for humans. Athletes are increasingly turning to transdermal patches providing long-lasting pain relief without inhalation. CBD isolate powders. These powders can be mixed into protein shakes to provide synthetic anti-inflammatory benefits. Balanced THC, CBD tinctures provide pain relief with simultaneously intoxicating when dosed micro. Major sports organizations are taking notice. In 2020, the NFL pledged $1 million for research on cannabis and pain management solutions for players, signaling acceptance within the professional sport. Sleep optimization for maximum performance. Sleep is essential for body repair and performance in skilled-based sports like baseball. Sleep allows the body to repair muscle tissue, consolidate memory, essential for skill retention, and regulate hormones like cortisol production. Unfortunately, many athletes struggle with sleeping due to post-game adrenaline and pain issues that cannabis may help address. CBN, a byproduct of degraded THC, inhibits sedative effects, such as has proven especially effective for improving restfulness during sleep. Dosage and timing are key. Low THC and high CBD strains can improve sleep quality without leading to next day fogginess. Edibles will, with CBN, provide longer acting effects compared to smoke or vaping. Avoid THC-rich strains near bedtime will prevent disruption to REM sleep, an essential element for cognitive recovery. Elite athletes like Nate Diaz of MMA fame and NBA veteran Cliff Robinson have openly acknowledged cannabis for aiding in their sleep recovery routines. Cannabis future in sports. The landscape is changing quickly. The 2018 Farm Bill legalized hemp-derived CBD in the U.S., with countries like Canada and Uruguay have legalized cannabis outright, allowing more research. Startups are developing athletic-specific products like CBD-infused sports creams with cooling menthol or fast-acting nano CBD drinks for halftime recovery. Upcoming innovation may include DNA-based strain matching. Ooh, how many times? I've been talking about that for 6 fucking years. Utilizing genetic testing to recommend personalized cannabis regimens. Love that. Synergistic blends combining cannabinoids with adaptogens like ashwagandha and enhanced recovery. Smart dosing devices, pod-based vaporizers with adjustable THC CBD ratios and respond to biometric feedback. But challenges remain, particularly around THC restrictions in competitive sports and need for additional human clinical trials. Organizations such as athletic cannabis associations are working hard to educate leagues and athletes on responsible use. Cannabis cultivation is adapting to meet the unique demands of athletes, providing science-backed solutions for recovery, pain management, and sleep issues. Although research remains in its infancy, early findings and athlete testimonies point towards the inclusion as part of sports medicine. As stigma recedes and technology improves, its relationship with athletes will only grow stronger, creating a new era of performance optimization. Love it. Finally, I wonder if they listen to my show. Or to our show.
Somebody did.
Somebody has, right? 6 years we've been talking about this. Since remember when we had Jason from Illinois News join on, and him and I had that conversation. That was
a long time
ago. So long ago. I've been talking about this and how I've been begging for this to happen, and I can't wait till it really happens. And like I said, kudos to the breeders that are doing this and trying to bring different strains and trying to get better at this. But I will say kudos and big fucking hug to Seattle Seed Chronic for whatever you did. Please, someone send them the show and have them reach out to Big Earl. I need more of that, that strain. So cannabis uses a lot of water to grow, right? And we were talking about New Mexico a few weeks ago and how you have to buy water rights, and companies are not getting water rights and not able to produce their grow, so they're losing out. So how much water and what's like cannabis grows and what's the water usage, Mrs. Weedman?
Yep.
This is a weird topic. You don't get to talk about stuff like this too
it's
often,
a good one.
So I'm excited.
Environment is important. Outdoor cannabis grows are productive, energy effective, and very popular. But how much water do they use? As marijuana cultivation expands across the United States and globally, concerns are emerging about its environmental footprint, particularly about cannabis grows and their water usage. A commonly raised question is whether cannabis affects water tables as much as notoriously water-intensive crops like avocados, almonds, or rice. The answer depends on several factors, including growing methods, location, and water regulation practices. Cannabis is a thirsty crop. Outdoor cannabis plants require an estimated 5 to 6 gallons of water per plant per day during peak growing season. In comparison, an avocado tree typically consumes 40 to 50 gallons per day But it also
And
produces.
we eat a lot of fucking avocados
Yeah.
in this country. That's a lot of
But it
water.
also produces a larger volume of fruit over a longer growing period. On a per acre basis, cannabis can use slightly less or more water than avocados depending on planting density and climate. However, the water impact of cannabis becomes more problematic in regions where it's grown illegally or without proper oversight. In California, for example, both avocados and cannabis are cultivated in drought-prone areas. But cannabis farms, especially unpermitted ones, are often located in ecologically sensitive headwaters or forested areas. These illicit operations may divert streams, destroy native vegetation, and withdraw water from small creeks that feed local water tables. Unlike avocados, which are typically grown on large farms with regulated irrigation systems, cannabis operations may lack water rights or infrastructure to capture and store water sustainably. Legal, regulated cannabis farms generally use more efficient water systems, such as a drip irrigation, water recycling, and rainwater capture, which can significantly reduce environmental strains. In fact, some indoor cannabis grow operations use less water per gram of product than outdoor farms do, due to tighter controls of inputs. However, indoor cultivation shifts the environmental burden to energy use and carbon emissions rather than water withdrawal. The effect of cannabis on water tables also depends on cultivation scale. In California alone, illegal grows have been linked to declining stream flows and drying wells in rural areas. Conversely, avocados, almonds, and other crops are grown on tens of thousands of acres and in total volume have a much larger water footprint. For example, almonds in California consume over 1.1 trillion gallons of water annually.
Wow.
Holy
shit.
Yeah. And I did not even think about that, right?
That's just one crop.
Yeah. Would you ever think that?
Not that much.
A figure far beyond cannabis. While cannabis can have a significant localized impact on water resources, especially when grown without regulation, it does not yet rival the large-scale water consumption of avocados or almonds in total volume. Still, its environmental footprint deserves careful oversight. Encouraging legal cultivation, sustainable irrigation, and environmental compliance will be key to minimizing cannabis's effect on water tables as the industry continues to grow. I think that's a very important topic that should be discussed. And we've talked about like the off gases and the carbon footprint before, but we haven't really talked about the water consumption that is required for
a lot of water.
Farming cannabis.
Farming anything.
Whether it's indoor or out.
Right.
Yeah, anything, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, why can't there be room for one more crop?
There is.
If in a lot of ways it's very restorative to the earth. It has regenerating properties. It's a great plant to rotate your crops with. There's a lot of benefits to growing it. And we could, talking about bringing all this industry back to the United States, we don't have textile mills like we used to.
Right. And
so it could open up so much industry for U.S.-made materials and fabrics, which would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
An alternative to cotton that has I believe, a lot of off gas and water needs. So, yeah.
And cotton is not actually good for the soil either, the way we grow it, too, compared to hemp, which cleans and restores it. He was sleeping just a minute ago when you were talking. He was out cold. And no, he didn't smoke any weed.
Just an old bird.
No, he does like hemp seed, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He loves his hemp seed. Medical marijuana and lupus, which we've not really talked about. Over 1.5 million suffer from the disease. Research suggestions medical marijuana can help with lupus. Over 1.5 million people in the U.S. and Canada have chronic autoimmune disease, lupus. It can trigger inflammation and pain throughout the body, leading to fatigue, joint pain, skin rashes, organ complications with limited treatments available or no known cure. Many patients turn to complementary therapies for relief. So what about medical marijuana and lupus? Recent studies suggest cannabis may offer meaningful benefits to lupus sufferers, including pain reduction, improved sleep, and decreased inflammation. One of the primary appeals for medical marijuana is the anti-inflammatory and analgesic properties. Cannabinoids such as THC and CBD interact with the body's endocannabinoid system, which plays a role in regulating immune responses. Man, we talk about the endocannabinoid system a lot, everybody. Every article that we talk about when it comes to health and wellness, the endocannabinoid system is mentioned. And the receptors CB1 and CB2, but always the endocannabinoid system. In lupus, where the immune system mistakenly attacks healthy tissue, this modulation may help reduce flare-ups and system severity. A study published in Frontiers in Pharmacology examined the effects of cannabinoids on autoimmune and anti-inflammatory conditions. Researchers found cannabinoids can inhibit the production of inflammatory cytokines and promote regulatory T cells, which are crucial for maintaining immune balance. The immune suppressive potential is particularly relevant for lupus management. Pain management is another critical area where cannabis shines. A study in the Journal of Pain Research highlighted how medical cannabis has led to significant pain relief in patients with chronic pain, including those with autoimmune disease. Patients also reported reduced reliance on opioid medications, a vital benefit given to the risk of opioid dependency. Furthermore, many lupus patients report sleep disturbances and mood issues. CBD, a non-psychoactive compound in cannabis, has shown promise in improving sleep and quality, reducing anxiety. A review published in the current Pneumopharmacology concluded CBD may be beneficial in treating insomnia, pain-related sleep, and mood instability. While more targeted research is needed, early evidence supports a safe and effective use of medical marijuana as a complementary treatment for lupus. You should always consult your healthcare physician when you're considering cannabis use in your regimen. Never leave the dispensary disappointed again.
Yes.
How I go to dispensaries a lot, visit dispensaries a lot, and I love the bud tenders. I love the managers, owners. I love the people that are going in. I'm never disappointed when I go to a dispensary because I'm there for the people and the weed. But how can people leave not being disappointed?
Yeah. Well, there was a time when a medical patient would travel to a different state. This meant that they would exit the imaginary lines where their medicine was legal into unknown territory. These patients often had to choose to go without their medication to visit a new state, or attempt to smuggle it in and possibly risk being arrested. This has become less daunting with reciprocity laws that grant medical rights to patients from visiting states and more legal weed than ever. But even with more access, product menus and brands differ in every state. Those visiting new areas may have trouble finding cannabis flower, edibles, vapes, and concentrates that create a similar experience to the ones they're used to at home. The effect is only one piece of this puzzle. The issue of finding trustworthy brands that are known for good practices rather than pesticides and other nasty additives is also a concern. Navigating this world can be complicated enough at home, but doing so after arriving in a new city or town is even harder. Here's how a seasoned stoner does it in 3 simple steps. Locate the perfect dispensary. These days, searching for the top 3 sites on Google or Bing does not always provide the most accurate results. Instead, search online for dispensaries near me and go deeper, maybe into the second page of results. Find a store that aligns with you based on their branding, location, or the company's mission, and then read their reviews. Lots of negative reviews are an obvious red flag. Alternatively, the good reviews will indicate whether the store's strengths match your needs. After finding a few retail stores, look at their menus. Their selection of goods indicates whether the store is right. And once you decide on your perfect pot shop, it is time to find the best products possible. Most people visiting a new place will know what products they're seeking, and the online dispensary menus are separated by category, brand, or both, which can be helpful. Check out the product types first to be sure the store has your desired goods. Next, decide if the brand of gummies or vape pens the store carries are ideal for you. Multi-state operators offer an easy option for people traveling to a new dispensary. Many offer similar product offerings in different markets. If the dispensary has products you might like, further explore individual brand sites to see whether they are trustworthy or not. Then tap into the brand's website and social profiles. Check whether the brand or producer is worth their weight. First, look up whether the company has a website. If they do, find a page that indicates their best practices and methods. There may be a lack of information on the site. In that case, pop on over to their social media pages. Look for an Instagram page corresponding to the brand. But do keep in mind that cannabis is censored on social media, so searching for a brand doesn't always bring up a profile, so you might have to do a little digging. Going on their social pages will show more about the company's culture and voice, which could provide new consumers with a look at what they're buying into. With these 3 things aligned: 1, seeking out dispensaries near you; 2, visiting their menu; and 3, researching your top brand choices on social platforms, a visitor to a new cannabis town could be set up for success. Buying cannabis products at a dispensary has been deemed overwhelming by many consumers, whether they are new to the plant or longtime connoisseurs. This can be made more intense when seeking weed in a new place. So, for your next vacation to a state with legal weed, use these tips to ensure that your trip is top tier.
There's good dispensaries. There's really good dispensaries. There's okay dispensaries, and there's.
Well, I think they're right. You need all of those things. Like
Right.
you want something that's close by, but you'll go a little further if it provides a better experience,
Right.
or if their menu offered better products, something that's more aligned with what you're looking for.
Right.
So it might not be just like drive down the street
People
and
in
stop
Illinois
in.
are sales shoppers too.
Yes.
They will go to where the sales are at. Medical marijuana can increase efficiency of chemotherapy to fight cancer while reducing side effects, studies suggest. Enhanced chemotherapy efficiency. The study indicates that cannabinoids in medical marijuana may boost the effectiveness of chemotherapy drugs in combating cancer. Reduction of side effects. Medical marijuana could potentially alleviate common chemotherapy-induced side effects such as nausea and vomiting. Improve patient quality of life. By mitigating side effects, medical marijuana may enhance the overall well-being of patients undergoing chemotherapy. The synergistic effects. The combination of cannabinoids and chemotherapy agents might produce a synergistic effect, enhancing cancer cell eradication. Potential for low chemotherapy doses. With increased efficiency, there might be an opportunity to reduce chemotherapy dosages, minimizing toxicity. Anti-inflammatory properties. Cannabinoids possess anti-inflammatory effects, which can be beneficial in cancer treatment. Pain management. Medical marijuana may assist in managing cancer-related pain, reducing the needs for opioids. Appetite stimulation. Cannabinoids can stimulate appetite, addressing weight loss issues in cancer patients. Sleep improvement. Patients using medical marijuana have reported better sleep quality during treatment. Mood enhancement. The use of cannabinoids may help in alleviating anxiety and depression associated with cancer diagnosis and treatment. Neuroprotective effects. Some cannabinoids exhibit neuroprotective properties, potentially safeguarding against chemotherapy-induced neurotherapy. Antioxidant benefits. Cannabinoids have antioxidant capabilities, which might protect cells from oxidative stress during chemotherapy. Reduction in tumor growth. Preclinical studies suggest that cannabinoids may inhibit tumor growth and how do you say that word?
Metastasize.
Thank you. Metastasize. Thank you. Minimal psychoactive effects. Certain cannabinoids like CBD, other therapeutic benefits without significant psychoactive effects. Need for further research. While findings are promising, more extensive clinical trials are necessary to fully understand the benefits and mechanisms of medical marijuana in cancer therapy. The points that highlighted in this article are potential role of medical marijuana and agent in cancer treatment, aiming to enhance chemotherapy outcomes and improve patient quality of life. Vega, having a good old time today. He's the star of the show. He is. He's the star of the show. This show and the last show, we're talking a lot about how to find good cannabis, what to look for in your weed, how to go out there and enjoy good dispensaries, and what to look for when you go. This has been the theme the last lately because, you want quality. You're spending money on to provide your medicine or for enjoyment, however you use cannabis, and it's your way. But you want to make sure you're getting everything correctly. You're spending money. You're spending hard-earned money, and cannabis is in this state with taxes is not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
In some other states like Michigan, you can get really good deals, but not everyone's going to drive to Michigan. So if you're in this state or in some states that prices are high, you want to make sure you're getting the best bang for your buck. So how do you identify good cannabis flower?
Yep.
Tell us about it, Ms. Weedman.
I've got a connoisseur's guide here. When you're visiting a dispensary across the United States, knowing how to identify higher quality flower is essential. With so many strains and cultivators available, understanding what to look for ensures a better experience every time you purchase. The best cannabis flower showcases 3 key characteristics: aroma, appearance, and effect. These factors determine not only the overall quality of the bud, but also how it will make you feel. So let's break them down. 1. Let's talk about aroma and the importance of terpenes. One of the first indicators of high-quality cannabis is its aroma. When you open a jar or bag of fresh flower from a trusted dispensary, a rich, complex, and pleasant scent should greet you. This smell in part comes from terpenes, the aromatic compounds responsible for each strain's unique scent and potential therapeutic effects. What to look for in cannabis terpenes. Avoid musty or hay-like odors. These can indicate improper curing or mold issues, common concerns even at a dispensary if quality isn't prioritized. A strong, pungent fragrance. A well-cultivated strain, whether from a dispensary near you or from another U.S. location, will have a noticeable aroma, often described as citrusy, piney, skunky, or fruity. There will be a complexity of scent. Good cannabis offers a blend of different notes. Why terpenes matter. Beyond aroma, terpenes influence the effects of cannabis. For example, there's myrcene. It's earthy and musky, and it's associated with relaxing effects. Limonene is citrusy, and it may boost mood and provide energy. Pinene is piney, and it can promote focus and mental clarity. Choosing flower based on its terpene profile can help you tailor your experience. Look for terpene percentages between 1 and 3% for a noticeable aroma and potentially stronger effects. Look for brands that provide detailed terpene information to help you make the best choice. 2. Appearance, bud structure, and trichomes. They really matter. A high-quality cannabis flower should look as good as it smells, and boy, are there some pretty, pretty flowers. While appearance can vary between strains, there are some universal signs of premium bud. Look for dense and well-formed structure. While some strains naturally grow fluffy or airy, premium indica strains from your local dispensary may typically have tight, dense buds, where sativa strains may be looser, but still well-formed buds. Trichome coverage. These tiny crystal-like structures covering the bud are called trichomes, and they're packed with cannabinoids and terpenes. The more frosty the flower appears, the more potent it is likely to be. Fresh, well-cured flower. Quality flower should have some moisture, but not be too wet or too dry. A properly cured bud will break apart with slight resistance, but not crumble into dust. What to avoid? Excessive stems and seeds. Quality flower should have minimal stems and no seeds. Seeds would be a sign of poor cultivation practices. No brown or yellowish hues. Although you can see some very pale green flower. We've had good flower before that has almost a yellow-ish green to it. It's very light.
Yeah.
But brown or yellow hues, if it looks like a little burned or dry, these could be signs of age, improper storage, or nutrient deficiencies during growth. If it's dry and crumbly texture, if it's overly dry, cannabis lacks potency and flavor, while too much moisture increases the risk of mold. I will say I would much rather have really dry, crumbly than like wet and potentially moldy. Dry, you can still smoke it. You'll probably have a little higher, maybe 1% CBN in there at that point. So it's a really nice kind of body high. It's not the worst thing in the world.
We've smoked a lot of dry weed here in
Yeah,
Illinois.
still works. Still works.
I've smoked a lot of dust.
Yeah.
in this
Oh,
state.
look, there's a bud. Let's try it. Kind of smells, not really. Grind it. It's like, it'll do.
When
We'll
you
get
grind
something
it,
here.
it turned to dust. What do you look like?
You don't even have to turn the
No,
grinder.
not at all. Oh my gosh.
A well-cured bud should be sticky but not wet, with a slightly spongy feel when squeezed. And the effects, cannabinoid content, and experience. A cannabis strain may look and smell great, but its true quality lies in its performance. Just like a car's value depends on how well it runs. Cannabinoids provide the power, while terpenes help steer the experience, determining both intensity and effect. So, how do you choose the right strain based on cannabinoid content? Well, you will look for lab testing results, like checking a car's engine specs. Lab results reveal THC, CBD, and minor cannabinoids that influence effects. For example, CBG may enhance focus, while CBN may enhance relaxation. Looking beyond THC percentage gives a clearer picture of how a strain might make you feel. High THC versus the entourage effect. High THC alone doesn't guarantee a better experience. Just as horsepower needs proper tuning for a smooth ride, a balanced mix of cannabinoids creates a more well-rounded effect. Strains with varied cannabinoid profiles often offer a smoother, more enjoyable experience than heavy THC options alone. And personal experience. Cannabis affects everyone differently. A strain that helps one person relax may make another feel sluggish, while an energizing strain could cause restlessness. Tracking how different strains make you feel can help you refine your choices over time. Choosing high-quality cannabis is both an art and a science. By paying attention to the aroma, bud structure, and effects, you can make more informed decisions. Before making a purchase, take time to smell, inspect, and research your options. A knowledgeable bud tender can help you find flower with the right profile to match your preferences. The more you understand, the better your choices and the better your bud. A well-informed connoisseur usually ends up with the best results.
Nice.
Yeah, I think those are good tips.
Yeah, the last 2 episodes you've been spot on with these articles. We're talking about how to look for good weed, how to look for a good dispensary, what to notice. Hopefully these tips help you out for all you newbies out there getting into the dispensary buying of weed. You know, your state's going to be going legal, like Minnesota. You'll be getting recreational here pretty soon. Kentucky medical soon. You know, some of your states that are there, you know. So hopefully these tips help. Political, state, and business news. GOP lawmakers want investigation on whether government workers buy marijuana with federal credit cards. Dum, dum, dum. Republican lawmakers have called an investigation for whether federal employees have used government-issued credit cards to purchase marijuana. They are requesting data from the General Service Administration to determine if such transactions have occurred at cannabis dispensaries, which are considered high-risk merchants under federal guidelines. This inquiry arises amid ongoing debates about federal cannabis policies and the legality of marijuana purchases using government funds. That's our taxpayer funds, meaning not just government funds. That's our money that they're buying weed with. And I don't get free weed. Texas House voted to outlaw all THC, all of it. One more step until it's in the governor's hands.
Gosh.
That's okay. The Texas legislature has passed Senate Bill 3, which bans all THC products, including Delta 8 and Delta 9 variants, while allowing only non-intoxicating cannabinoids like CBD and CBG. The bill now awaits Governor Abbott's decision. Signed, the bill will take effect in September 2025, potentially dismantling a state's $8 billion hemp industry and affecting approximately 50,000 jobs. Advocates urge the governor to veto the bill, citing concerns over economic impact and patient access to hemp-derived wellness products. Texas, man, you do a lot of things big, from what I've been told, but not better. And this is one of them. And I've been to Texas. Austin, you always have a place in my heart. Statement, though, by Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller assuring farmers hemp production will continue under SB 3. The Texas farmers are worried about the effects of Senate Bill 3 on the hemp industry. The legislation does not ban growing hemp or planting hemp for biomass. It is a targeted effort to crack down on abuse of THC in retail sector, not ban on legitimate hemp farming. They have maintained the constant communication with legislators to ensure the voices of our growers are heard and that the essential production of Texas producers stay in place. They've been in contact with Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick and committed to ensuring that the farmers continue to grow hemp without unnecessary interference. Most veterans and family members say VA doctors should be able to provide medical marijuana. A survey reveals that 79% of U.S. military veterans and 92% of their family members support allowing Veteran Affairs doctors to recommend medical marijuana to patients and deem beneficial. They should also be able to get it from the doctor too, right then and there. Mm-hmm. Despite the strong backing, current federal law prohibits VA physicians from discussing or prescribing cannabis, even in states where it's legal. Legislation pending on Congress aims to lift these restrictions, reflecting growing support for medical cannabis accesses among veterans and their families. Utah's medical marijuana program hits a new milestone with over 100,000 patients now registered. Good for you, Utah. Marijuana and alcohol businesses should join the hemp industry in the fight for regulation instead of prohibition. In the recent op-ed, Jonathan Miller of the U.S. Hemp Roundtable urges marijuana and alcohol industry to support hemp in advocating for regulation over prohibition. He highlights the challenges faced by the hemp sector due to FDA's lack of regulation, leading to the market instability. Miller emphasizes the need for federal and state oversight to ensure product safety, prevent youth access, and maintain direct-to-consumer sales. He calls for the unity among industries to promote equitable access to consumers' protection, positioning hemp as a vital contributor to the health, sustainability, and economic growth. Now here's Mrs. Weedman.
Yeah. Back with some more political, state, and business news. Mrs. Weedman here. Farmers markets want to sell marijuana, but they can't. Small cannabis farmers in states like California and New York are eager to sell marijuana directly. I would say every state would be eager, any of the local farmers, to sell marijuana directly at farmers markets, similar to how craft liquor and wine are offered. However, current state regulations prohibit this, requiring cannabis sales to go through licensed dispensaries or special events. Advocates argue that allowing direct-to-consumer sales at farmers markets would support struggling small producers and align with existing models for other artisanal products. While some states have introduced limited permits for cannabis showcase events, broader policy changes are needed to fully integrate marijuana sales into traditional farmers market settings. Imagine how cool it could be, though, to meet your grower, know their products and processes, and learn to fully trust the product you buy. We hope that happens. Mm-hmm. Dirty bong water to be decriminalized in Minnesota.
This is crazy.
Yeah. Well, we read about the story about the lady.
Yes.
Now, in fact, I later read that her bong wasn't just marijuana. It had meth. It had all sorts of things in there. Still, I find it weird that the dirty water in a bong is criminal evidence. But I guess I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, dirty bong water is going to be decriminalized. So there you have it. Minnesota lawmakers have passed a bill that excludes bong water from being counted in total weight. Oh, counted in total weight of controlled That's just fucking ridiculous. You know how long people would be in jail for their freaking dirty bong water? If it adds to the weight of something.
Old dogs, all roommates, be in fucking jail for a long time. But they're
dirty bong water. So it would add to the total weight of controlled substances in a drug case, overturning a 2009 state Supreme Court decision. The change, awaiting Governor Tim Walz's signature, would be retroactive to August 1st of 2023, potentially aiding individuals like Jessica Besky, who faced severe charges due to her bong water weight. Advocates argue, there's some pretty big bongs out there. You're going to go to jail for 5 pounds of bong water. Wow. Advocates argue.
That's why I always tell you to clean your bong and change your water.
Or just don't drive with water in your bong.
It's true.
They argue this reform addresses disproportionate penalties. Yes, it does. And closes a significant legal loophole. Poor Jessica, though. Her and her bong water. Minnesota legislature passes cannabis regulation bill. In May of 2025, the Minnesota legislature passed an omnibus cannabis policy bill aimed at refining the state's adult use cannabis program. The legislation introduces a lower potency hemp wholesaler license. It permits sample distribution at cannabis events, and it allows testing facilities to operate while seeking accreditation. It also expands social equity eligibility to individuals with certain prior cannabis-related adjunctications and enables the export of low-potency hemp products. The bill, now awaiting Governor Tim Walz's signature, seeks to streamline regulation and support the launch of Minnesota's licensed cannabis marketplace.
He made fun of Texas.
He did?
Yeah, something I read today. He was telling Texas, come up here. We'll take better care of you than Texas will.
13 Minnesota cities and counties want to open government-run cannabis dispensaries. We personally think that's a terrible idea. These cities and counties are planning to open these government-run dispensaries, and Anoka has begun constructing, must be one of their counties, a $2.7 million 3,000 square foot store, while Osseo and St. Joseph await licensing. These municipalities aim to manage cannabis sales directly, similar to municipal liquor stores. That's ridiculous. To ensure local control and generate revenue, so they can waste it. However, they must wait for the state to finalize licensing and regulatory frameworks before opening.
I can't believe the constituents are letting this happen.
Yeah, that's just, it sounds
I want to know where they got the $2.7 million.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where did the county get the $2.7 million?
From all their applications, maybe.
So they stole people's money to use it, or they just used taxpayer dollars to pay for it too.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's state run, so they would fund it then. So there's a budget now for dispensaries, so they can control it.
But you can't fix our school system.
No,
can't take that 2.7.
But they're going to start new industry,
right?
Jobs.
Sure.
So, New York marijuana officials launch interactive buy legal map to help consumers find licensed dispensaries. New York's Office of Cannabis Management, or the OCM, has introduced Local, the legal online cannabis activities locator map. So it's an acronym, to assist consumers in finding licensed marijuana dispensaries. This interactive tool offers a user-friendly interface to locate legal cannabis retailers across the state. The local map aims to promote safe, regulated cannabis purchases and support the state's social equity initiatives by directing consumers to authorized dispensaries. Wow, that's kind of cool. I like that. I wonder if that'll become every state can hop into it. It becomes an app, right? Oklahoma counties with more marijuana grows saw property values surge, study finds. A study published in the Journal of Agriculture and Applied Economics found that counties in Oklahoma with a higher number of marijuana grow operations experienced significant increases in property values, 20% to 25% over 5 years. This surge was attributed to marijuana growers purchasing land at inflated prices, often with cash offers, which drove up local real estate markets. However, counties with more dispensaries did not see similar property value increases. Weird. Hard to deny something's off. Arizona Health Department rings cannabis testing alarm bells. Arizona regulators have flagged Caked Labs, a prominent national cannabis testing laboratory, for multiple violations following a March inspection. The Arizona Department of Health Services identified over a dozen deficiencies, including issues with potency testing, pesticide detection, and microbial analysis. Notably, some violations were repeats from previous inspections in 2023 and 2024. Caked Labs has 30 days to respond to the findings. That's a big one. I mean, that's a lot.
That's a lot. Not good. No bueno.
They need to be looked into.
Nebraska lawmakers reject amendment to protect doctors who recommend medical marijuana. Nebraska lawmakers recently rejected an amendment aimed at protecting healthcare practitioners who recommend medical cannabis. The amendment introduced by State Senator John McCavanagh sought to shield physicians from arrest, prosecution, or disciplinary action solely by providing written recommendations for medical cannabis use. Despite support from the Nebraska Medical Association and families advocating for the medical cannabis access, the proposal was deemed not germane to the broader health bill, Legislative Bill 376, and failed to advance. So you're not going to be able to get a doctor to prescribe you without getting in any kind of trouble. Ruthless.
Yeah.
Chinese-Mexican crime rings take over illegal marijuana trade. The growing involvement of Chinese and Mexican criminal organizations in legal marijuana cultivation across the United States. These groups are establishing illegal farms, often exploiting legal loopholes and utilizing migrant labor, including Chinese nationals smuggled across the Mexican border. The operations are linked to broader criminal activities such as money laundering and human trafficking, raising concerns about national security and the effectiveness of law enforcement in addressing these complex networks. The New Hampshire Senate has rejected every marijuana bill passed by the House this session. The New Hampshire Senate has rejected all marijuana-related bills passed by the House legislative session. On May 22nd, the Senate approved a 14-10 table House Bill 198, which would have legalized adult possession of up to 2 ounces of cannabis. Earlier, the Senate Judiciary Committee voted along party lines to deem HB 75, a bill to legalize adult-use marijuana, as an expedient to legislate. Governor Kelly Ayotte has consistently opposed cannabis legalization. Pennsylvania Senator announces new marijuana legalization bill after committee defeats House-passed reform proposal. Senator Marty Flynn of Pennsylvania announced plans to introduce Keystone Cannabis Act, a new marijuana legalization bill. After the Senate committee rejected the House-passed proposal that included state-run dispensaries, Flynn's bill aims to establish a regulated cannabis market for adults 21 and over, with oversight from state agencies such as the Department of Health, Agriculture, and Community and Economic Development. It also proposes the Community Reinvestment Fund to support rural infrastructure and equity initiatives. Flynn emphasized that legalization is inevitable, and Pennsylvania should not lag behind neighboring states like New York and Jersey. If California market tax hike takes effect next month, consumers and businesses will suffer, but there's a solution. California's planned cannabis excise tax from 15 to 19% on July 1st of 2025 is poised to exaggerate challenges for the state's legal marijuana industry. Industry leaders warn that the hike could drive more consumers to the untaxed illicit market, where cannabis is often cheaper. To counteract this, Assembly member Matt Haney has proposed a bill to freeze the tax at 15%, aiming to stabilize the market and support licensed business. Now, you need to take that down to like 8%. You don't need to be that high. My gosh, come on. You're earning enough. Kush, and not the Kush that we like to smoke, right? This is something different. It's equal a dangerous mix of weed, fentanyl, tramadol, formaldehyde, and even some ground up what, Mrs. Weedman?
Human bones.
Human bones.
Freaking weird.
Tell us about it.
This dangerous mix of cannabis and fentanyl is coming out of Africa and spreading across Europe so far. A new and very dangerous form of cannabis called Kush. So we get into this, you're going to keep hearing me talk about Kush, and you're going to think about the strain, Kush. And I wonder how this is going to affect Kush strains like in the coming months, if this starts to spread into like
we love
the
Kush
US.
strains.
I know.
And it's not this.
Right.
I know.
But it might scare people.
Right. Just so you know.
This is not a strain. This is a mixture of
that they call
things that they're calling Kush. Okay. So it's new and it's dangerous. But it's not a normal cannabis that people know. This Kush is a scary mix of cannabis, fentanyl, tramadol, formaldehyde, and even ground up human bones.
I like it to smoke at the bones.
This deadly combination. I'm picturing that guy with the big mouth and the eyes that he does all the videos, the influencer. This deadly combination is hurting many people, especially in West Africa, and it's now spreading to other countries like the UK. Usually, cannabis is a plant used for recreational or medical purposes. Marijuana strains like OG Kush, Kushadelic, and Exotic Kush are popular because of their natural THC. However, the Kush causing alarm today is very different. It's not just cannabis. It's mixed with dangerous drugs like fentanyl, which is 100 times stronger than morphine and can easily cause overdose and death. Tramadol, another opioid, is also added. On top of that, toxic chemicals like formaldehyde are included, which can cause serious harm to the body. Some reports say that ground human bones are also added to the mix, and this has caused graveyards to increase security to stop people from stealing bones. The reason for adding bones is unclear, but it could be used to increase the drug's weight or for some chemical effect.
I like a smoke of the bones.
Smoke of the bones. This new kush is extremely dangerous. It causes very strong and harmful effects on the brain and body. People who use it can experience severe anxiety, hallucinations, paranoia, and even psychosis. Because of the fentanyl and other opioids mixed in, users risk death from overdose as well. In Sierra Leone, West Africa, this kush is killing about a dozen people every week.
Jeez.
This is no joke. And sending thousands more to local hospitals. The government has declared a national emergency and is working hard to stop the spread. This dangerous kush started in West Africa, but is now spreading to other countries. Recently, British police caught a person carrying kush worth 1.5 million pounds. This drug is moving beyond Africa and becoming a global problem. The mix of cannabis with fentanyl is especially worrisome because cannabis is often seen as a soft drug, while adding fentanyl makes it deadly, a change that is confusing for users and authorities alike. Normal cannabis affects the brain by interacting with your natural systems, causing feelings of relaxation or euphoria. But this new kush is much more harmful because of the added opioids and chemicals. Fentanyl and tramadol can cause breathing problems and death, especially when mixed with other drugs. Formaldehyde is poisonous and can damage organs, and the ground bones add another unknown risk. Users often suffer from mental health problems like panic attacks, hallucinations, and violent behavior. The drug can also cause long-term brain damage and even death. So what are they selling it? Like, how do you, they're not even talking about it giving any positive benefits.
I like to smoke at the bones.
I just smoke at the bones just because. I just smoke at the bones.
Nothing sounds good about this at all.
Like, I don't even get it.
But
Why
it's
would
a
anyone
warning
take
for
it?
all of our people out there. Be careful.
Holy shit. This drug is not just a health problem. It affects entire communities, families, losing loved ones. Crime rates rise. Hospitals get overwhelmed. The illegal trade of this drug brings huge amounts of money to criminals, which fuel continued corruption and violence. Governments struggle to fight both the supply of the drug and the spread, but the complex nature of this kush makes it hard to detect and control. And to fight this crisis, countries are taking several steps. Law enforcement is working to catch traffickers and stop the drug from spreading. Health services are opening treatment centers and educating the public about the dangers. Research is ongoing to understand the drug better and develop ways to detect it. Communities are being involved in prevention and support programs. Sierra Leone's government has set up a special task force to handle the problem, but international help is needed because the drug crosses borders. So, be aware that this dangerous kush might be in distribution. Avoid buying drugs from any unknown sources, and seek help if you or someone else experiences bad effects from drug use. This new super psychoactive kush is a deadly mix of cannabis, fentanyl, let's not forget that, tramadol, formaldehyde, and, just in case, some ground human bones.
I smoke at the bones.
Smoke at the bones. It is causing death and serious health problems, especially in West Africa, but it is spreading worldwide. This drug is much more dangerous than regular cannabis because of the powerful opioids and toxic chemicals added. It's a growing crisis that needs urgent attention from governments, health workers, and communities everywhere. By understanding the risks and working together, we can help stop this deadly drug from taking more lives. So stay informed, stay safe, and support efforts to fight this dangerous new threat. I think it's really important that people know about that.
Yeah. Don't buy kush from strangers.
Yep.
Especially if they don't have a name for the kush, like Triangle Kush.
Oh,
or
it's
OG
really,
kush.
really good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't take kush from strangers.
Yeah.
International news. Rwanda's first medical cannabis production facility in Manzane district is 83% complete, according to Rwanda Development Board. The project is a collaboration between the RDB, King Kong Organics Rwanda, aims to produce cannabis oils exclusive for export. The facility is projected to yield at least 5,000 kilograms of medical-grade cannabis per hectare, which plants maturing in 4 to 6 months. Rwanda has allocated 134 hectares for cultivation, targeting markets in Europe, North America, and parts of Asia. The remaining work includes installing double-layered security fencing and meet international pharmaceutical and safety standards. Under Rwandan law, recreational cannabis use remains illegal, with strict penalties for possession and use. The government emphasizes that none of the medical cannabis produced will be distributed locally. That sucks. Rwanda, come on now. The initiative positions Rwanda as a leader in East Africa's medical cannabis industry with a tightly controlled export-only model. You will fail. I hate to say it, because one, you're not giving your people probably what they want, but you rather distribute it to around the world and not let your people make money off of it too. So it just doesn't make any sense. German cannabis market establishes foundation for global industry expansion. Germany's cannabis market has experienced rapid growth, positioning itself in a global leader in the industry. Following the implementation of the German Cannabis Act in April of 2024, the country has reclassified cannabis as a recognized medicine, simplifying the prescription process and expanding patient access. The shift has led to a significant increase in medical cannabis patients and sales, with projections indicating over 1 billion medical cannabis sales in 2025. Notably, legal cannabis in Germany is more affordable than the illicit market, a unique development in the global cannabis industry. The country approach includes reasonable taxation and integration of existing medical infrastructure, serves as a model for the nation. Germany's success is also fostering a robust international supply chain, with countries worldwide targeting Germany as an export market for their domestically cultivated cannabis. Despite political shifts, the momentum for cannabis reform in Germany continues to influence broader European policies, establishing a foundation for global industry expansion. Punitive taxes are killing Canada's legal cannabis industry. If you want to be a millionaire, this was a quote, if you want to be a millionaire, start with $1 billion and launch a cannabis production company in Canada. That was British entrepreneur Richard Branson said that. But he was also talking about launching an airline too.
Yeah.
So he just,
because everybody has enough money for
right.
that.
But it's funny. If you want to be a millionaire, start with $1 billion and launch a cannabis production company. Oof. That's not, it sounds very, very fruitful of your labor, of your money. The Deloitte report commissioned at Canada's Cannabis Council of Canada said that the excise tax paid governments accounted for 31.5% of gross production revenues last year. At a time when prices are falling, and it would, of course, be rare to find an industry that endorses the amount of tax it's paying. However, the government's own expert panel, which conducted a legislative review of Cannabis Act last year, noted the industry's urgent concerns about viability and said they were well funded. South Africa's current stance on cannabis. South Africa's permits adults to privately use, possess, and cultivate cannabis under the Cannabis Private Purpose Act of 2024. However, commercial sales and public consumption remain illegal. In March of 2025, the Department of Health banned cannabis and hemp-infused food products, further restricting the market. While medical cannabis is accessible through licensed practitioners, the country's cannabis policy continues to evolve amid regulatory challenges and debate over commercialization. Thailand's health minister, Samsak, launches regulatory blitz to outlaw non-medical cannabis use within 40 days. Oof. Thailand's health minister, Samsak Thesbutin, sounds like just not a nice person with a last name like that, has announced a 40-day initiative to restrict cannabis use to medical purposes only. The move responds to a rise of smuggling incidents, including recent arrest of British tourists involved in illegal exports. New regulations will require all users, both Thai and foreign, to present a medical certificate to legally access cannabis. The government plans to enforce these measures under existing herbal and traditional medicine laws. Remember I said a long time ago, Mrs. Weedman? Thailand, don't do what?
Don't mess things up.
Don't fuck it up. Canadian cannabis sales bounced back in March. Statistics Canada released March retail sales for the country, with cannabis sales increasing from February levels up 4.9% to $428 million.
That's the whole country?
Yeah. With federal legalization stalled in the U.S., cannabis companies are finding a new green rush in Europe. With U.S., that's actually a lot of money. $448 million for 1 month?
Oh, 1 month.
1 month.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, you thought I meant the whole year.
Yeah.
No, 1 month.
I was like, oh.
Sorry. With U.S. federal cannabis legalization stalled, American cannabis companies are shifting focus to Europe. where markets are opening and regulations are more favorable. Germany's recent legalization of recreational cannabis has positioned it as a central hub, attracting U.S. firms seeking growth opportunities. The green rush reflects a strategic pivot as companies aim to capitalize on Europe's expanding cannabis market and domestic regulatory uncertainties. Cannabis legalization referendum moves forward in Sy-Cultivar Belize. Sy-Cultivar Belize is advancing toward a local referendum on cannabis legalization. Community leaders have initiated the efforts to gauge public support for legalizing marijuana, aiming to influence national policy. The referendum's outcome could significantly impact Belize's approach to cannabis regulation. That's international news, everybody. I'm not a big karaoke guy. I only sing one song, and that's the Toadies Possum Kingdom. And that's the only song you'll ever catch me really sing at a karaoke. Isn't that right, Mrs. Weedman?
Yes, it is.
I'm not a very good singer. I can't carry a fucking tune. I can't even fucking strum a guitar. I can't do shit.
Nah, you could sing okay.
No. Oh, now it's
when
okay.
you know the song.
Now it's okay.
Well,
for years, you're like, really? Are you really singing right now?
Well, you were screaming.
Well, yeah. But I do only sing one song at karaoke, and that is Toadies Possum Kingdom. And but there is a stoner karaoke night, right?
There is.
What's the ultimate blend of fun and vibes? Tell us about it, Mr. Weedman. Because you just got yourself a karaoke machine that you bought to one of our parties, and everybody was stoned and having a great old time with it, right?
Yeah, it's paid for itself already.
The kids borrow it now too, right?
For their parties, yeah.
They love it.
Stoner Karaoke Night is a unique event that blends two universally loved pastimes, karaoke and a relaxed, laid-back atmosphere. While karaoke nights are typically known for their high energy and sometimes intense competition, Stoner Karaoke Nights focus on creating an atmosphere where everyone can feel comfortable, no matter their vocal skills or experience. This event is specifically tailored to people who enjoy cannabis culture and want to share a good time with like-minded individuals while indulging in their favorite herb. What makes Stoner Karaoke Night so special? Well, the key element of a Stoner Karaoke Night is the mellow and chill environment. It's usually in a venue that encourages a relaxed atmosphere with some even allowing patrons to consume cannabis openly in legal and responsible manner. This helps set the tone for the night as participants are encouraged to take their time, have fun, and enjoy the experience without any pressure. The vibe is much more about self-expression and fun than it is about perfection. The songs selected for Stoner Karaoke Night often reflect a wide range of musical genres, allowing a wide variety of participants to find something they enjoy. Cannabis and karaoke might seem like an unusual combination at first, but there's a compelling reason why the two go hand in hand. Cannabis can amplify a sense of creativity and relaxation, allowing participants to feel more at ease in front of a crowd. This helps break down any social anxiety or performance jitters, which are common in traditional karaoke settings. Stoner Karaoke Nights offer an opportunity to get involved without the pressure of being judged. In fact, many people attending these events might be more inclined to belt out a song in the haze of their favorite strain because they're surrounded by others who share similar interests. There are plenty of online resources where you can find karaoke tracks and playlists. You can also create a playlist that aligns with the stoner vibe by incorporating artists known for their connection to cannabis culture. Stoner Karaoke Nights are a fantastic way to bring people together. They offer a sense of community and belonging, allowing people to bond over music and cannabis in a friendly, non-judgmental environment. It's the perfect event for those who want to enjoy music, relax, and embrace their love of cannabis in a fun and lighthearted setting. It's an evening where everyone is encouraged to be themselves, laugh, and let go of inhibitions. With the right venue, music, and group of people, these events can become a traditional, beloved by any community. I think they'd be fun.
We already do it.
Yeah.
We've done
Even
it.
just to go.
Right.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
I was reading an article about actors that smoke weed and use weed. There was only one I wanted to talk about. I thought it was funny what this person said. Iconic actor Morgan Freeman, who played fucking so many great movies, right? He gets heavenly relief from hellish fibromyalgia pain. And they asked him, how do I take it? He goes, however it comes. I eat it, drink it, smoke it, or snort it. I just love weed. Oh, Man, Mrs. Weedman,
Mr. Weedman.
that's the end of the show.
Yep.
You got anything else to say?
I got a froggy voice today.
Froggy?
I need more.
You got
more
froggy
waters.
voice.
Froggy.
Next week, Mrs. Weedman's going to play Kermit the Frog on the
Yeah,
show.
right. Wow.
Well, we had Vega join us.
We had Vega. He flew back to his cage.
Yeah, but he made it about
Most
an
of the
hour.
show, yeah.
Pretty good. Anything else before we go?
Well, have a wonderful week. And I'm not really full of like big thoughts right now. I'm pretty big.
What's a little thought then?
A little thought is like, how fast can I get that joint lit again? It's time.
Ignius, thanks for throwing
Thanks,
to the
Ignius.
cause, brother. Caked Up Cherries. I have a feeling you might win this competition. So, but we appreciate you, Ignius, as always, throwing to the cause. Everybody out there, we love you. Thanks for listening to the show. And you know what? As Paulie always says, smoke smart, puff, puff, and away.
Puff, puff, pass.
Check out our cannabis lifestyle brand online at 8decades.com. Our custom smokes and accessories are perfect for your coffee table, bedroom nightstand, or kitchen counter. They're designed for you to show them off. The Canna community is also loving our hemp and cotton blend t-shirts, sweatshirts, scarves, and hats, finished off with our 8 Decades logo. We've got some awesome long-lasting goods that will be your favorite for years to come. 8 Decades, because a 9th decade of cannabis prohibition isn't acceptable.